Although the fans first met Sanji on Baratie in the East Blue, he was certainly not born there, as confirmed by him during the Jaya arc of One Piece. With the Whole Cake Island arc, Sanji's past was made clear to the fans, and it was revealed that he belonged to a family of world-famous assassins who are sometimes even considered to be a myth, the Vinsmoke family. Led by Judge Vinsmoke, this family sits at the top of Germa-66, a mobile kingdom that consists of thousands of artificially created humans. In the past, Judge worked with the likes of Vegapunk and discovered what is known to be the blueprint of life, the lineage factor. In this video, we will discuss how Vinsmoke Judge reacted after learning that his son, who was considered a failure, has succeeded in awakening true exoskeleton powers without having to lose his emotions. When Sanji was a child, he was weaker than his siblings to the point that he was considered a disappointment and a failure to his family. This was due to the drug that his mother took during her pregnancy to ensure Sanji would still have his humanity, thus resulting in him being born without any apparent genetic enhancements, much to Judge's fury. However, during the raid on Onigashima, Sanji noted that after 3 uses of the raid suit, that his body began to feel different, and even in some cases better, which perplexed him early on during his fight with Queen. Later on, in his fight with Queen, Sanji angrily realized that the genetic modifications that lay dormant within him since birth have finally awakened, granting him a superhuman physical constitution and an exoskeleton that makes him nearly invulnerable, including an accelerated healing rate. After surviving being crushed to death, Sanji stood back up even with all of his bones broken, shocking everyone as his body snapped back into place and reformed. Queen then struck Sanji with his sword, only for the blade to shatter against Sanji's neck, with Sanji only feeling minor pain and annoyance as a result. He would then pull his cheek back into place, and also withstood several bullets to head by the Beast Pirates without any injury. After realizing that his genetic modifications only awakened due to him wearing his raid suit, Sanji chose to accept the changes to his body, but not before destroying the canister that held his suit to permanently cut off his ties to Germa. After mastering his new gifts to some level, he discovered that he has become so fast that it is as if he can become invisible without the suit, and his already impressive strength has grown to a level far greater than he would have imagined. By combining all these augmentations to his body and his armament haki, Sanji developed fighting techniques that would have been physically impossible for him to do before. Interestingly, questions about Sanji's humanity don't stop there. While it is true that Sanji isn't an emotionless killing machine like his brothers, he appears to be something entirely different. As noted in the Wano Country arc, Sanji bears great resemblance to the strongest man in Kaido's crew after him, King the Wildfire. Known to be from a race that no longer exists, King is an extremely powerful character who, just like Sanji, has the ability to set himself on fire. According to what the story tells the fans, this ability is unique to the Lunarian race, which is now extinct, with King being its last survivor. That's not all. King is also a master of combat in the air, which just so happens to be Sanji's forte. King possesses tremendous durability that prevents him from receiving any damage, as seen in the fight against Zoro. On the other hand, Sanji just awoke a power similar to the exoskeleton of the Germa family that protected him from one of Queen's strongest attacks with rather ease. Sanji might not be exactly as tough as King, but his powers just awoke, and he's slowly getting there. To make things even more interesting, Sanji awoke his exoskeleton and the rest of his Germa powers after a minor skirmish with King the Wildfire, and felt the changes take hold immediately after the two made contact with each other. Queen, the second strongest member of the Beast Pirates, questioned Sanji about how he was able to ignite himself on fire, and while Sanji said it stems from his passion and anger, Queen laughed the claim off, saying no human can set themselves on fire unless they're Lunarians. The implication here is that while Sanji might be human compared to his brothers, he may also not be human due to actually being of the Lunarian race or carrying half of their power somehow. In the past, the Lunarians were known as the gods of the One Piece world, and they lived atop the Red Line, just like the celestial dragons do right now. Queen referred to them as species that could survive in any conditions, yet somehow, their race was wiped out. It is quite incredible to see Sanji bear such a resemblance to King, and what's more, he might actually possess God's blood by being one of the members of the race that was long ago wiped out with an unknown force. Although it isn't clear how Sanji is linked to them, there is still a lot that the story hasn't revealed, and by the end of the Wano Country arc, fans will certainly know more about Sanji and his connection to this near-extinct race of the One Piece world. Currently, Vinsmoke Judge doesn't know that Sanji has succeeded in awakening his exoskeleton power. However, during the final war, Judge will see Sanji using the perfect exoskeleton power. Of course, it will be interesting when the final war will be broadcast throughout the world just like the Marineford War. All eyes will be on the war. At the end of the One Piece story, Judge will acknowledge Sanji's power and hand over his throne to Sanji to become the new leader of Germa 66.